So as Annie said, once again, thank you for joining us today. This week's Sustainability, we are hosting the Cape Fear Sierra Club. So we have three lovely presenters today. We have Anna, Katie, and Taylor. So if you guys just want to go ahead and maybe introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about what you do, that would be perfect.
So I'm Anna Campbell, and I'm a volunteer with our local Sierra Club called Cape Fear Sierra Club. And I have the great opportunity of working with our marketing team, our interns, and also I am now the conservation chair. And Katie?
Hello, everybody. My name is Katie. I'm a recent UNCW graduate. I am working alongside the Cape Fear Sierra Club currently on their digital marketing campaign, as well as holding the seat as their chair member for the NC chapter for the Political Endorsement Committee. So thank you for having me.
Hi guys, I'm Taylor. Sorry, I'm driving, so my camera's not on, and I live in the middle of nowhere, so my service is a little spotty. Been with the Sierra Club for about a year and a half. I am the newsletter editor. I design the website. I am the secretary, and I'm also a part of the marketing team.
Well, thank you guys again. I know we keep saying that, but we're just so excited to have you here. So going into our first question, I'm not sure if you guys want to go in the same order that you introduce yourselves or however you would like, but can you talk just a little bit about your journey in sustainability or how you got to your current position with the Sierra Club?
Sure. So I started volunteering in the local community in our community gardens, and then I started speaking with local farmers and learning about the regenerative practices that they're using. And then I saw there was a local walking group, and I joined them, and it turned out it was the Cape Fear Sierra Club who hosted the walk, and that's how I actually was introduced to the club, and they invited me to start participating, and then I volunteered.
Awesome. So as I previously mentioned, I went to UNCW. I'm a recent graduate. I pursued two majors there, both in marine biology and environmental science with a minor in nonprofit management. I had decided to pursue this major because of a love for the ocean, specifically a love for elasmobranch branch conservation. And through my time at UNCW, I felt that my efforts would be best served in natural resource policy, to help push legislation that ensures environmental conservation throughout the United States. And that drew me to the 501c4 area within the Sierra Club, which landed me now within the Political Endorsement Committee.
I got involved with the Sierra Club about a year and a half ago. I was initially pursuing a career in mental health therapy, and then decided I wanted to work in something related to animals, animal rights, animal welfare. So I got involved with animal welfare group, and then I wanted an environmental side as well. So that led me to the Sierra Club. I was just engaged in their normal, monthly meetings and events going on for about 4 months, and then I was on the executive committee. So it was a real quick ascension. But it's been awesome to work with them and to have these different roles pop up over the last year and a half that I've been able to take
on. Awesome. I love hearing about the different ways that people kind of get into the groups that they're involved in. So building off of that, what is it about the specific company, so the Cape Fear Sierra Club, that specifically draw y'all to it, and kind of what was it that piqued your interest?
For me, it was protecting nature and understanding the value nature has in all of our lives. And what drew me to volunteering is actually the people. I really enjoyed being around them and learning, and they're very inclusive, which was nice.
Well, I began working for the Cape Fear Sierra Club initially as an intern for the social media accounts, specifically working for their digital marketing campaign. And I was really drawn to the Sierra Club because of their ideologies, specifically within environmental justice, conservation, sustainability, and then their role in promoting candidates with environmental agendas was something that resonated well with me.
I remember first hearing about the Sierra Club when I was in high school. I actually have, it was a nice like full circle moment. I have a sticker in like a folder of stuff from back when I was in high school, and I have a Sierra Club sticker in there. So it was really cool that 10 years later I ended up working with them. But yeah, I think just knowing that they were such a big player in the game, and that, you know, they weren't afraid to tackle the tough topics, that they were, you know, actively working on, you know, every aspect of climate change and things like that. So they had a little bit of work going with the animal side of things, mainly under CAFOs, but I'm trying my best to increase that realm within the Sierra Club.
So thank you so much for kind of like giving some background on the Sierra Club and how you got there. But from what it sounds like, you all have pretty different roles. So can you expand a little bit on maybe what skills you learned from your classes or your degrees that you use most in your current position?
Sure. So I actually graduated from UNCW with an MBA in 2019. And so for me, it was very business and structure oriented. And so I was able to take the supply chain understanding that I had and facilitate that onto how businesses look at our natural spaces as an opportunity to exploit it for economic gain, and how we can kind of reverse that and give rights back to nature and that value back to the nature itself versus the company. So then the company is responsible for how it treats nature, for its impact on the nature. And then, so that was pretty much what I learned while at UNCW that directly related to my marketing role and also my conservation role.
Awesome. Yeah, so in having an undergraduate in both marine biology and environmental science and with a minor in nonprofit management, some of the knowledge that I've used has been within the natural resource policy course that I took at UNCW. I think it's EVS 364 with Dr. Snyder. If you haven't had a chance to take it yet, I would definitely recommend it. And then as well as a lot of those nonprofit classes that I ended up taking, specifically public administration, and the in-depth knowledge that I received in learning about the introduction even into nonprofits, you know, 501c3 versus 501c4 distinctions and what roles those play within our political sector, and then our public sector even more so, has been incredible knowledge to have in doing this position, or in having this position, my apologies.
So my undergraduate is in psychology. The practical side of things, there's not, you know, too much that's directly popping up within my role at Sierra Club, but things more on a larger scale, absolutely. I'd say the class that has been most integral was probably like social psychology. It really helped frame people's behavior and why they make the choices they do, which I think with that knowledge, it gives you a leg up on figuring out what policies people are going to adhere to the most, you know, what campaigns you can do locally that your community might want to be involved with, you know, people who, you know, climate change deniers and things like that, like how their brain is working on those things and how you can tackle, you know, that issue from a psychology perspective, so that you're coming in with a lot of resources and information to have the right kind of conversations with people. So I'd say that one's probably the one that sticks out the most.
Awesome. I think I've said this every sustainability that we've had so far, but I love hearing like about the different paths that people take and kind of like how you can do so many things and still relate it back to sustainability. And like, I just love hearing about the three very different kind of focuses y'all had. But still, here you all are working at the same place, which I think is really cool. But building up from that question, what are some things that you've found you needed that you think class didn't really prepare you for, or that you kind of had to learn along the way? So maybe more specific to kind of what you're doing now.
Yeah, this one was a hard lesson to learn. Because after school, you're like, I know this, I can do it. And you go into the job and it's not exactly what you expected. So since I was more in the business marketing school, I was taught control. I was taught structure. I was taught how to lead and make things happen versus how to collaborate and how to listen and how to have compassion and empathy. Because with all things generally that we're working with other people, right? It's not just the machine or a computer or a car. It's another human being that's also making a decision, and they're choosing to either work with you or not. And like Taylor had just mentioned, her classes would have been phenomenal in helping with the human behavior aspect of everything that we're doing, especially our marketing, because we're marketing to and with people. We're not just, trying to get Facebook to do something for us. So that's something I really wish that I had more exposure to, was just that more collaboration side.
I definitely agree with Anna. I wish that I had a little bit more foundation within networking specifically. Some of the people that I work alongside are very high caliber. I had a meeting with Rob Zappel, the county commissioner, last week, and I work regularly with Bill Saffo, our mayor, and I think sometimes we can find that it's easy enough to sit down and talk to people, one-on-one, have that conversation, but making that connection, getting outside of your comfort zone and saying, okay, well, I have this passion. I want to see this happen for UNCW. My apologies. This happened for New Hanover, specifically within the realm of sustainable development. How can we work together, and how can we build this together? No pun intended. But moreover than that, I originally started with the Cape Fear Sierra Club as their digital marketing intern, which had quite literally nothing to do with my marine biology and environmental science degrees, but rather that was something that I developed through my current role within Organic Digital Design, which is a digital marketing company. And so, but but it's important to recognize that, especially for a nonprofit organization, that, in order to motivate and have people show up for your cause, or something as seemingly simplistic as giving love for the parks, or as in depth as offshore drilling, opposition, you have to be able to connect, and that's the best way to do so now.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that I do for the Sierra Club I'm the newsletter editor, and I design the website. I had never done any web design, in college, that, you write papers and things like that in school. So these were just practical skills that I had to learn, over time and as I got into them. So I think it really is just a matter of getting that experience and, finding a team that will support you as you learn those things. I had, a great team to help transition from the old newsletter editors and web designers. They gave me the rundown. So there are skills that I didn't know, and I'm definitely one to
I think that we may have lost you for a second there. I don't know if that was just me. I don't know if that was a me thing or not, but I didn't hear about the last 30 seconds of what you said.
I missed it as well.
Okay. Perhaps transferring over from the internet to the Wi-Fi tapped me out. But yeah, just saying that if you have a team that supports you, you can figure out the way to learn these new skills, even if you didn't get them in your college education. Well, I think I heard a little bit of this in the last question, but what is maybe one piece of advice you wish someone had given you, whether it be for your current career or just like in the field in general? Like, what do you wish you knew before coming to your current position? And your dog is so cute. Thank you.
She has the cutest animals. It's not fair. So I guess the one piece of advice I wish someone had told me is that listening is powerful, and allowing other people to have a space to share their story or their dreams is actually very impactful, because then it helped me understand how to best work with them and also how I could best serve. And especially in a volunteer organization, you're working off of people's passions, right? That's what I learned through that. And so I wish someone had told me to just honestly be quiet, just stop and allow them to have that space.
Going off of that, I think something I really wish that someone would have told me down the line is that you're more qualified than you think you are for things. I remember I was taking a course at UNCW, and I remember that it was something like, if someone is unqualified for a job, or they feel they're unqualified, if they're male, there's like a 60% chance they'll still apply, and for women it was only 30. And that, and I'm not saying that it's just a gender divide here, but I think more often than not, I'll sell myself short for things. I've got a lot of knowledge and a lot of things that I've learned over the course of my college career, and now my professional career, and now my nonprofit career. So I think so often we sit there and we're like, well, I don't know, there's got to be someone out there that's more qualified. There's got to be someone out there that's got 10 years on me and 10 years of experience. But, the world is changing so quickly. And so I can be sitting here as a 22-year-old holding the political, chair for the North Carolina Sierra Club on behalf of Cape Fear Sierra Club as, the political endorsement committee. And that is incredible to me. And I'm so honored to be here. But, I think at the end of the day, just remember that you're here for a reason, and your passion, your dedication, it will get you so far. So keep pushing.
Yeah, so piece of advice, probably expanding on what Katie said. It's easy to get down, and when there's so many problems out there and so many pieces of this environmental puzzle that need to be solved, it's easy to feel like you're not doing enough. But I updated my resume recently and got to put down in detail everything I've done for the Sierra Club, and I was like, oh, okay, like that sounds good. So that was a nice reminder of, I am doing good work, and I am learning skills and things that can transfer, to a more full-time position and within different fields, things like that. So I think just keeping your head up and realizing that if you don't jump right into what you want to do, that's okay. And if you change your mind about something, that's okay. But yeah, it's something you'll figure out. And, I work full time, and I do Sierra Club stuff on the side, and it takes up a lot of my free time sometimes, but
it's a small price to pay for, getting to make a difference and, getting that stuff on my resume that's really going to pay off in the long run. And it's fun while I'm at it. So, yeah.
I think those are all awesome pieces of advice, because I think that in the world of sustainability and, all of the work that we do, it can be easy to get bogged down sometimes, and to kind of feel like what you're doing isn't enough. But I think it is important to remember, like all of you pretty much touched on, that, doing anything is doing a lot, and it's putting in the effort and educating ourselves. So I appreciate what all of you said a lot. The last question that we have prepared for y'all, and then we can kind of open up the floor, is, and Caitlin, you may have some ways to touch on this, but how can UNCW students get involved, and what opportunities do y'all have available?
Yeah, so I'll jump on. I'm super excited to jump on this. So first and foremost, internships. Reaching out, I got my internship with the Cape Fear Sierra Club by reaching out to Andy McGlynn, who was a resource I had from my time as the president for 350 UNCW on campus, and saying, hey, I really want to, in my time at UNCW, having helped a local organization get my hands dirty a little bit with the nonprofit industry, how can I help? Here's what I know how to do. I can purchase metadata and create algorithms on social media for digital marketing. I can, I'm very passionate, I'm very driven, like put me in coach. And they did. They developed a spot for me more than anything else, and it ended with me in November 2020 having a political ad that reached 387,000 people in North Carolina in support of the NC endorsements, which was incredible. It was something that I had created and implemented. So yeah, I think that the best way to get involved is ask. Really just put yourself out there. I'm a great resource. Anna's an incredible resource. Taylor's a great resource. We can all give you our emails, our contacts. We'll put them in the chat. Just reach out. Seriously, that's the nice thing about nonprofits is there are very few nonprofits that are going to say, no, we're good. No more help here needed. Like always reach out. But yeah, and I'll pass it on to Anna now.
And also, thank you, Katie, that was awesome. And yes, we love interns. We're also affiliated with a few of the teachers there at UNCW for their internship programs. They'll feed us a list and say, hey, can you use anyone? And we're like, yes, please, every semester. Also, our state, the North Carolina Sierra Club, and our national, the Sierra Club, are hiring people. So they have internships and they have paid job positions. So just look on their websites under careers and jobs. They have those listed. And then I'll pass the mic to Taylor.
Yeah, so I'll just add to that. Sierra Club, technically I was just a member, but I still, felt like I was volunteering because I was involved in any and every event going on. They were kind of disturbed by my participation rate. They were like, don't you have a life? So, I was going to the meetings and hearing the speakers, but it was also, they did Hands Across the Sand the first year I was involved, which is just, an event to show that that we super oppose offshore drilling. So, things like that. I attended a Clean Air Carolina conference like a month after I had joined Sierra Club. Our membership chair, Pris Endo, got me involved with that. So there's, even if you're not ready to jump in like at an internship level, you can still be involved and fully be learning, meeting, growing, making a difference. So, don't think that a little involvement is not enough. Like they said, we'll take any help that we can get.